Welcome back. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. I have an awful, garbage, filthy mouth where sometimes, just sometimes, I tend to use the word fuck as a comma. I also like to do this to my finger. If you're not into that or weird stuff in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. Why hello my little hush puppies, I've missed you so. In today's video we're going to be talking about something that actually came out already and people already talked about, but I'm late to the party. Hi. And the reason for that is because my eye, she's going through the change, okay? She's going through the motions. She's discovering her body for the first time. It's a lot of touch and go, but I've been trying to give her space. And Muriel over here, she's starting to feel a little bit better where I feel comfortable trying other eyeshadow palettes. Because for a while there, she didn't like anything that was on my face, so I let her have her moment. But now I'm over it and I want to put some color on my goddamn face. Now with that said, I have a lot of things that I unfortunately shelved, a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so expect this month to be full of a lot of quote-unquote retro reviews. So with that said, welcome to a very long list of videos that I'm going to be doing in August dedicated to things that I purchased and I just didn't have a chance to play with because I'm up here, didn't like it. Now with that said, in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the new Laura Lee Los Angeles release. And that is the Candy Skies collection. Ooh. So I actually picked up the whole bundle, which retailed for about $59. You get a palette as well as 2 beautiful lip glosses. This collection is in collaboration with Laura Lee's niece, Erin Weaver, who is this adorable little peanut right here. Now the biggest reason why I picked up this collection is because I really enjoyed the Nudie Patootie palette. They're solid quality and honestly they're just really good basic ass bitch palettes. Full disclosure, this brand has sent me stuff in the past and I really enjoyed the quality of it. So when this was announced, I was like, let me clutch my pearls, I need it. This is what I wanted the ColourPop Candyland collection to be. In hindsight, super happy I didn't pick up that collection because I heard it was hot water trash. And nobody has time for that bullshit, even when it is cheap. Anyway, let's talk about the palette first.
The Candy Skies color palette is designed to be versatile enough to be fun, everyday makeup look, or simply add a shade to make any look pop. These highly pigmented pressed powder shadows combine to make the perfect palette for any level makeup enthusiast.
So for $45, what exactly do you get? You get this beautiful palette right here. This is pretty much in line with her other existing palettes. It's the same size. I like that you get a nice size mirror. Here's your color story. And I really love that the overall theme is kind of like a mix between Katy Perry and Candyland. And for that very reason, I'm fucking obsessed. So when you do open her up, you have 7 mattes and 7 shimmers. Let's break it down by formula, starting with the mattes first. For some shades that are bordering on pastel, these are really nicely pigmented and incredibly easy to use. I didn't experience any patchiness or longevity issues when using these shades, and I really enjoyed how well they work together. So I didn't experience any muddiness, or you know how sometimes a shadow can just like overtake the look and make it look like you erased everything that you worked on. You do not experience that with this palette. I was able to create really beautiful gradients in no time at all, and honestly, they blend so well it does the work for you. I love how easy this palette is to use, and I really love that it is a no frills formula. What you see in the pan is exactly what it's gonna look like on the eye. My only complaint is that I wish the shade Marshmallow was an actual like stark white shade. If you use this shade as an inner corner highlight, it does pack a punch. However, when you start to kind of like blend it out a little bit, it starts to diffuse. So for me, I really love putting white on the inner portion of my eyelid. And for this one, I had to like layer on a bit of product just to have a solid opacity, and still then it was not where I wanted it to be. If you're looking for a great white shade, I totally recommend like Sugar Pills Taco. I haven't really found anything that compares to that, unfortunately, but this one, it's nice, but you gotta fucking work for it, and it's like, I want a little bit more. And I'm pretty sure there are other white shades that I'm not thinking of, but Sugar Pill was the first one that came to mind. Anyway, now moving on to the shimmers in this palette. These were great as well. These are the kind of shimmers that just pair really nicely together. You can make beautiful gradients without getting that wrinkly labia texture. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, you do. I really enjoyed combining some of the colors together to kind of get a little bit of a duochrome effect. And again, that's what I really like about shimmer formulas that allow you to layer and create new colors without having like some weird fucking texture. These had awesome longevity. I didn't experience any cracking or fading or falling throughout the day. There is a bit of glitter bukkake, so you kind of have to watch out a little bit for it. But at the end of the day, it was easy to clean. Some of them a little bit harder than others. For example, Cloudy. That one kind of had a little bit of a mess cleaning it up. So my recommendation would be to do your eye look first and then your base so you don't have to deal with all that bullshit, but just something to note. For these shades, I use NYX glitter glue. I don't fuck with setting spray, and the reason why I don't fuck with it is because I usually get some sort of weird chemical reaction, or is what I like to refer to as spicy butthole. And sometimes, just sometimes, some shadows, even with NYX glitter glue, can have that effect. So I'm happy to say that I didn't experience that with these shadows. I also did use it with a saturated brush, like just using a little bit of water, and they worked well too. What I do like about the shimmer shades in particular is that you can use a dry brush, and they're pretty impactful. But I think when you have a little bit of NYX glitter glue or a little saturation, it just makes it a little bit more punchier. But still, with a dry brush, they're really fucking nice. These also applied really nicely, not only with a brush, but with a finger as well. Just be careful when you finger yourself because it can be messy. The only shade that required a little extra hand holding was the mixed berry shade, this purple shade down here. It took a little bit to build up opacity, so much so that I started with a brush and then ultimately just used my finger to pack it on. But it's not the end of the world, but I noticed that was the one shade that I kind of had an issue with. Every other shade was really nicely pigmented. It was just that one just required a little extra hand holding. Anyway, this is a real fun palette. This was fucking fun to play with. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Pumpkin Spice palette, not because of quality, just because it was fun to play with. And sometimes I just gravitate towards things that are just fun to use. This is just fucking fun to use. I really love the layout of this palette too, in particular. And I mention it because sometimes when it comes to a rainbow palette, it could be a little bit all over the place. And for me, I get anxiety looking at it as if I'm looking at a fucking SAT problem and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But this one, everything is just paired so well. So if you are someone that doesn't really fuck with color too much, this actually is really nice because of how things are grouped together. You do not get overwhelmed with all this color. It's really, really beautiful. If I had to add something to this palette, I think it would have been a yellow. That's the one thing that's missing. Like a really nice baby yellow would have been fucking adorable, but whatever. I have baby yellows as if it's like a fucking chicken. Okay, sorry. Just imagine like a baby chick. Okay. Anyway, with that said, I really, really enjoyed playing with this palette, and I cannot stress enough how easy it is to use. I know in the description it says like anybody at any makeup level can enjoy this palette, and it's fucking true. As someone who's not a makeup artist and a makeup enthusiast, I don't feel overwhelmed when using this palette. And I really like that I'm able to create really beautiful looks in no time at all. This palette really does the work for you. This was a lot of fun. So if you're looking for something that is very user-friendly and a very pretty pastel rainbow color that has really good payoff, then look no further, check this lady out. Now the last two products in this collection are the lip glosses.
Formulated to keep your lips moisturized and not sticky, leaving your lips healthy and beautiful all day. Glides on smooth for a flawless, even application.
So the first product is Strawberry Sky, which is this one right here. And this is described as a clear rosy pink gloss. And then you have E-Bug, which is a sheer nude with a light gold shimmer. These lip glosses are vanilla scented. And as someone who doesn't have the best sense of smell, I have to really put my nose into the fucking tube to smell it. So if you are someone that really doesn't like fragrance, I'm probably the worst person to ask, so don't ask me. But it's not offensive. It actually smells like my childhood. Think about it. It makes a lot of sense. I grew up in a candy store. Okay. It was Willy Wonka every day in my house, bitch. Anyway. I love both of the lip glosses. I think they operate very much the same. They are fucking fabulous. It comes in this really adorable packaging that mirrors the palette, and it also comes with this really, really adorably small, teeny tiny doe foot that's actually really comfortable on the lips. And I can get a nice even coat with the doe foot, so I appreciate that. The formula itself is very, very shiny, very wet looking, kind of very slutty, which I'm a fan of. I love a wet mouth. Ooh, that sounded weird. I love a wet mouth. Ooh, yeah, I love a wet mouth. Keep saying it and I feel like it's gonna change, but it never does. The wear down of this product is really awesome. So it starts off as like this really shiny vinyl wet look, and then it wears down to a nice sheen. Love it. I found both of the products incredibly hydrating and very long lasting, which is actually quite surprising because I've been wearing it in and out of meetings and I didn't feel the need to touch it up. Usually gloss will disappear immediately. This hung around and I appreciate that. I'm also happy to report that while these glosses are very wet looking, they're not sticky. They don't bleed into the outer corners where you get that weird matrix mouth. Like, you don't experience that at all with these products. And as someone who has really, really dry lips, I appreciate that these glosses are incredibly hydrating, so I don't feel like they're suffocating or I feel like I need to take it off and put chapstick on. These are fucking great. Honestly, I was really nervous about eBug, and the reason for that is because there is a slight shimmer to the formula. Anytime there's glitter in a lip formula, I usually feel it. My lips are super sensitive, so I don't like that sandpaper feel. Some people can fuck with it. I don't. I'm not a fan of it. So anytime there is glitter in something, I usually back away and I don't purchase. So it's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. And I'm happy that I did because I didn't notice any texture. And the actual gold shimmer is incredibly light. So if you were worried that you were gonna look like some weird sex robot, you're not. It's just like a really beautiful, like light gold subtle sheen. I actually don't even notice it when I have it on. And I also like to combine these two together as well. It's really, really nice. I enjoy this formula. I love that they're basic ass bitch colors. I'm in love with this. These will be living in my handbag for the foreseeable future. I really enjoyed this whole collection. It's adorable, and this is what I wanted the ColourPop Candyland collection to be. I think for the price point, I'm not mad at it. I think for $59, I got a really good amount of products that I know and I see myself actually using. It's not something that's like a one and done. Like, I can see myself going back to this time and time again. I really like that about this collection. So I definitely feel like I got my money's worth. This was an awesome collection, and I really look forward to seeing what else this brand releases in the future. With that said, now I want to hear from y'all. Let me know down below if you purchased this collection or if you were thinking about it, or if there's something else that you would like to see me review. Let me know because I love hearing from you. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, it's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. To all my beautiful, wonderful patron bubbies, thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, candylicious garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do it without you. I love your adorable little delicious faces, and I just want to gobble you all up. I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you, and you're gonna accept it. If you want to know what is currently on my face, along with where to get my merch, my podcast, my bloopity blop blop, my palette, it's coming back into stock. If you want to know any of that stuff, everything will be listed in the description box below. And I'll see you little sour powers later. Bye.